Morning, fret friends. So this is a new step in the direction of Luthiery, or Luthiery, basically guitar building, for want of a better description. So let's remind ourselves of where I am. This Warwick neck. It's going to need quite a lot of work. We do have a piece of wood missing there. I'm going to fill that in with wood dust and glue if I can't get the other bit off the other fingerboard. It's going to need a little bit of cleaning up all down this end, and I'm going to have to still go steam out this centre strip to get at the truss rod. Now I do have the new truss rod, and it's not the first one I bought. I believe this is the, I'm not quite sure, I'm not sure if it's the 4th or the 5th. So this is a truss rod to replace the one in there, and that sits in there like so, and it's a perfect fit. These are now £60. Oddly, about £30 for a truss rod and £30 for shipping. So that's become more expensive. But where am I today? So what I've done is I have the original fingerboard, which is no good, and I have it taped to the replacement fingerboard, which I got off eBay for £45. The guy slotted it for me. It's 6mm thick, and I have aligned the original fretboard to the blank underneath. And you will notice, those keen-eyed among you will notice that the original, or the new one, is actually wider than the original. I specifically asked for that so I can shape it myself once it's back on the neck. What I'm also going to do is these two pilot holes, I drilled one there and one there, I've lined up, and I'm going to re-drill. And even if I have to drill all the way through the blank underneath, that's absolutely fine, as long as I can get it lined up back on the neck perfectly. Now something else I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up at the 12th fret, which I believe is right there. And what I'm going to do is, once I've got it lined up on the neck, where it needs to be, I'm going to drill two pilot holes, one each side of the 12th fret, just so I can pin everything in before I glue it. So when I glue both pieces and mate them together, I'm going to glue them in. I'm going to tap in pins, one there, and two in the middle, each side of the centre, and that way we're going to get the neck dead straight, and we're going to get a fingerboard dead straight. And once the new fretboard is on, it'll be overlapping, because it's going to be wider than the neck, and I'm going to shave it down to match the width of the neck. But what I'm going to be doing well before that, by the way, is I'll be radiusing this before I put it on. It's going to be much more difficult to radius it once it's back on the neck. So I do have a tool I built for radiusing, and it's a great piece of kit, and this is it. And the width of this tool is exactly the width of a radius beam. And what I'll do is I will double side sticky tape the new fingerboard to this channel on here, and with the radius beam inside, I can just slide it up and down between these two guides, and I'll re-radius the board. And I built this myself a few years ago, and I've used it quite a bit. It's a great piece of kit. So this is my first delve into Luthiery, really. It was always going to be a natural progression. I always wanted to build guitars anyway. It's just never been, I've never had the chance. It's something I'm going to be doing when I move to Canada next year. And I'm only specifically really going to build for myself. I don't want to do it as a business. I don't want to do it as a profit-making thing. There's no money in building guitars anyway. It's just a natural progression for me, and for me to use the skills I already have. So it's just something I'm going to do basically for myself, for fun, and I'm sure I'm going to be really good at it. So great project, this one. A lot more work than I originally envisaged, and it's this from now onwards, it's work I'm not really charging for. Radiusing the fretboard and refretting it, I'm not actually charging for it. I'm just charging for replacing the truss rod, straightening the neck, replacing the truss rod, and getting it all back to tickety-boo, which has always been a standard price, £500 plus the price of the truss rod. So like I said, the refret, the reprofiling of the fingerboard and getting it all radius, blah 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 blah, it's a freement, it's a free thing. You know, and that's great. Oh, fret wire, by the way, I couldn't get the Gold Evo stuff by Jessica. It's been discontinued, so I've had to get this stuff from Stumac. It cost me about £14–15. My friend got it shipped over on his account, so it didn't cost me any shipping. It's the closest fret wire I can get to what is already in there. It's not quite as wide, and I don't think it's quite as high, but it's very, very close. It's as close as I could get it, and it's slightly a darker colour, but hey ho, them's the breaks. It's the best we can do. So that's it. I'm going to crack on with it today. Well, I'm not cracking on with it today. I might do a little bit of it today. I might just try and get the truss rod out today, the old one. I've got to steam this out, so I've got to clean this up. There's a piece of wood knocking about on here that belongs to, it's actually on the fingerboard, it belongs in this channel here. There's a little bit missing. I may just fill it in with epoxy, but the best thing to do would be to put the original piece of wood back in there. So I'm going to try and do that. So, still got a lot of work to do on this, but I will update you as and when. Additional supplemental that won't be in the final video. This bit is to just remind you that I do have a website where you can check out my work. That's facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. I'm Victor, I am your friend. Go and check me out on Facebook. Again, facebook.com/NGONESEVEN.